Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am Digital Cast, new name, I rebranded, William Zhang, and with me tonight, Cthulhu.
Hello. Quite keen for tonight. Quite keen for the games that is going to be the playoffs for tonight. It is Order versus Team Bliss, and honestly, quite excited for this to happen, for this matchup, and just in general, some interesting storylines forming throughout the whole playoffs bracket. And on the mainstream, we are going to be seeing as well the Mindfreak versus Kanga, which is going to be shaping up its own storyline, but ultimately, general kind of thinking, it is kind of a possibility for an Order versus Mindfreak rematch from the previous stage of VOT. So honestly, quite excited for tonight, Digital. How about you? How do you feel?
Well, first off, for the audience who don't know what they're watching, in case you haven't seen the titles and fancy graphics already, this is the Nova Order Invitational, presented by Logitech G. Well, and for me, man, to answer your question, look, Team Bliss versus Order, first game starting off. Personally, I'm gonna have to give my prediction to Order, even though Team Bliss, map 1, it will be Icebox. They are renowned to have one of the strongest Iceboxes in the region, but just what we've seen from Order, they've only dropped one map in like recent times, honestly, and that was against Wildcard. It went double OT on Icebox of all maps to take them down. So it just goes to show how high caliber of a team and the players individually they have on Order. So yeah, Team Bliss, you know, they have a strong Icebox, but Order, the players individually at the very least, are sharp, and the coordination on Icebox, undeniable. Map 2 Ascent, oh, look, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But, yeah, sorry, just aside from that, I was popping the brackets real quick for you guys to see what's going on right now. And as you can see, Stream 1, that's us. We'll be doing Order versus Bliss, and like Cthulhu mentioned earlier, Mindfreak and Kanga. Yeah,
Mindfreak versus Kanga should be also quite an interesting one, just for the sheer fact that Kanga had, I believe, actually a pretty decent run throughout the group stage, if my memory serves me right. Whereas for Mindfreak, also pretty solid, strong team. And overall, yeah, the storyline for the Order Mindfreak is definitely there on the table, but maybe as well there could be an upset, maybe on the side of Order versus Bliss, maybe on the side of Kanga versus Mindfreak. We'll have to see further down the line, but yeah, for this one, look, like you said, Icebox definitely should be a solid contestant between the two teams, seeing as both Bliss and Order have trained it pretty well overall, and Bliss definitely mark it as their kind of the stronger maps out of the map pool so far. Ascent and Bind, that are the next two picks, have been certainly interesting to witness. I mean, Order managed to show us a fantastic Bind previously, where they played, I believe that was actually against Tiny Turtles, and look, that was quite a roll.
Well, you say a roll, but then again, at the same time, Order, they weren't playing their main agents on that map, and yet things still went decently well. And it took them to what? Order and Tiny Turtles 13-9. That's the exact same scoreline that Nebula took Order to in the Oceania tour. So things came close, but regardless, Order, again, they triumph at the end. It's Order after all. And now the teams, actually, they've given us their ready, Order and Bliss, and we should be loading into Icebox real soon now. So, any final predictions for you, Cthulhu? Who do you think will actually take Icebox map 1?
I'm tempted to say actually Bliss. Not by a very large margin though. I definitely think that OT is definitely going to be on play if Bliss do end up winning out this map. But yeah, probably my final call is going to be Bliss here for the first map. But I certainly think that Order will have the upper hand on the other two.
Well, so at least at the very least, what you're saying is we'll have a
3-map.
Yeah, 3-mapper, yeah. So, it will be good entertainment, but hey, look, Icebox, Team Bliss, the strongest map. Let's seriously hope, oh, they can show up tonight, all the players hot and ready, fired up. I want to see it.
Indeed, yeah, look, last time we've seen Order actually play out, that was the against Tiny Turtles in our stream. Tux actually was bringing in Sky as kind of the main agent there. This time he is bringing out the Viper, so quite a whole lot more control, more ability to be a little bit more aggressive with some of the abilities. And look, on the side of Bliss, looking at the lineup, it's all looking pretty good. Oh, you got the two duelists, you got the info gathering from Sova, you got the two agents that can lock down the site, so everything is looking quite solid overall. And apart from that, really, well, not much to be said until we'll see the actual action. I'm curious to see how Disco will play out his game on the Raze as well. The rest of the lineup as well been
that's
pretty
much it. Like, look, Team Bliss, a slightly different composition, and of course, guys, hand over camera controls to me. Cthulhu, I'll show you how it's done, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Look, the thing is, Order right now, they're gearing off for an A take, and going by the lineup, we're seeing Disco, of course, on the Raze and Autumn on the Jet, so really stock standard for their Icebox setup, and no Viper Walls just yet, but Autumn leading the charge, and Order, they're starting to swarm on.
Indeed, well, already, straight off the back, we do see the push coming around. It is going to be a very strong take of the A side, and right now it's Wrongski to try to keep an eye out. The Easy is there to try to open up the wall, but it's Jungle Wow to pick up a kill onto Signed. Major as well, taking out Tux as well. This is all starting to slowly fall apart, but Autumn and Texter do refrag. It's a 1v3. Texter might just be able to have the element of surprise, but can't really find another frag. First round to go very confidently into the hands of Team Bliss. And a retake was very solid, very well coordinated. And it seems that maybe Order got a little bit hasty on some of their attempts at peeking.
Yeah, that's the very least that you can say about it. Granted, their side take was fantastic. They just jumped right on, but look, man, just Order. They were setting up for the post plant, and they probably weren't expecting the mad aggression coming out from Team Bliss so early on into the engagement. So as a result, you know, Team Bliss was a two-player flank all the way from behind, and they managed to catch a few players off guard. Major with the Reyna going huge with fragging. Jungle Well, of course, to clean things up, and Major, well, keep your eyes on Flushes, actually. He's already charged his ultimate up, 3 out of 7 points, so sooner or later we'll see him with the Resurrection available for Team Bliss, should things come to it. Regardless, Order this round. Standard split. They have upgraded pistols on some of them, going for the A and B, plus mid watch.
Yeah, it seems Order for now are just trying to poke around, see what do they want to do, whether they want to peek. It seems like B side is going to be the choice. It's only a single Viper that is actually on the side of Bliss, that is Jungle Wow, to try to hold off the onslaught. And Bush seems like it's about to begin. The Poison Orb is starting to get back up to try to prevent some of the sightlines early on into the matchup. But for now, it's a game of hide and seek almost.
Well, Jungle Well, he does get spotted out regardless. Order, they have utility down, and they should be able to get the spike plants relatively easy.
Spike is starting to go down. We do see a few pre-fires from Fweshes, but right now no damage to be connected. A retake is going to be once again in hands of Team Bliss. They will need to pull this off. There is a flank from Reyna of Fweshes, pardon, Major, as he could deal quite some damage. Nobody is actually watching behind, and this is going to be an issue. Some damage is being dealt, but no frag at all does finally vanish. Easy finding the kill as well. Major goes down. Wrongski picking up another one. Jungle finding one more. It's down to Tux. He's been pinged by the scout arrow, so goes in for the peek, but it's the Ghost that finishes off the Viper on Viper violence.
You failed.
Team Bliss, this was their SMG buy round, and they managed to, you know, obviously win it, so that's good on them. But Order, they got onto the site relatively easy. They got 3 kills, and they managed to plant the spike. So that's a lot of money going to their hands. Of course, they will be able to go into the investment of armor and rifles. Awesome. He's already 4 out of 6 points for his ultimate. But look at Texter, 1 off of having the resurrection for Order. Should things go a little bit wrong into this round, they can at least bring a player back into the fray for Order. Meanwhile, Team Bliss losing 3 players. As you can see, those 3 players not being able to buy back too much. It's going to have to be upgraded pistols in the best case scenario. So Major and Flesh is going to have a hard try to lock down the A side.
Interesting to see how this is all very unfortunate timing there for Disco to find the kill with the paint shells. And just like that, that's one of the support players out of the equation, so should make things a whole lot easier when it's going to be time for the push.
And look, Order, they managed to take site cleanly again. Util comes up, the Viper will cut it in half jungle. He only has, you know, a Sheriff to try to do some damage, but Major, same story on the flank again. Tux, this time, is ready.
Not enough, unfortunately, though. The Vandal does not come out successful. The headshots, couple of things did really do the job. Major finding another one for himself. That's Autumn out of the equation. And now, once again, Order are starting to get kind of cornered all around. Bliss looking very dominant here so far. And those flanks are not being countered by Order in any shape or form. Although Disco picking up a kill. That's a ding. That's a 2. Wrongski going ham. Can he find the third? He does! And that's the third round. Bit of a mistime there for him to try to get the defuse, but surely Major will be able to handle that. So that is a 3rd round in a row, but what a play from Wrongski, honestly.
Oh my god, look, Ronsky, I wasn't expecting that to come out of the guy. He pushed up full confidence, had faith in his team to watch his back, and indeed, a triple popping heads all around him, John Wick style, and Order, that was disastrous. They managed to get the spike planted, granted, good props to them, but they lost all their rifles, they lost a round, and this will force them onto an eco. Granted, they have 3 ultimates to work with, awesome, the Blade Storms, don't count them out, Disco as well, the showstopper, but should he choose to use it this round? That's the real question. It's a big ultimate to invest. Meanwhile, Team Bliss, full investment. They're looking really steady.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, well, already we do see the Blade Storm being popped, but Autumn gets a little bit risky there on the positioning, gets some DK going for himself. So far, really, for the whole of Order, they looking to try to maybe find initially just a couple openings before they even bother to go for a site take. And Major early pop of the Empress should possibly find himself maybe a frag or 2 here.
Oh, really close now. Oh, Ronsky, of course, he's sharp and gets the better of Signed. Order the bleeding players. There's still 5 alive for Team Bliss, and that's our last 2. Texter, he may be able to catch a frag here.
Yeah, well, it won't be the case. Texter and Tux do fall. It is a flawless round so far. Bliss leading 4 points in a row. It's looking a little bit unfortunate for Order. 2, almost 3 rounds in a row, they failed to prevent any kind of flanks, and that is exactly what punished them previously. Now for this very round, it kind of just looked like Order just couldn't really find any kind of gunfight. Even with the Jet's Blade Storm, it fell apart.
Yeah, well, Order, this is a 4 rounds in a row handed over to Team Bliss. As a result, it did invest the awesome Blade Storms. He wasn't able to get much out of it, I'll be honest, but they can fully reinvest back into this round. That's a lot of money, and should Team Bliss win again, they'll be running away with a much stronger lead. And right off the bat, I'm feeling a little bit anxious about my prediction, saying Team Bliss, they've got this. Oh, the wall!
Absolute stunning performance here, really. Already the showstopper is coming out as well. Disco looking to try to find himself some frag here with a showstopper. Pre-fires the usual angle where Jungle Wow was sitting, but that's already bailed out of the position. Easy, once again there on the play, could really throw in a spanner in the works. Tux is getting spammed by the electric arrows, but won't be really finding anything. Some more damage is coming out to the roster of Order, and they can't seem to be able to pick up a single frag. Signed, trying to just tap away, but no, it's his confidence just being tapped away at by the Vandal of Wishes. That's the defuse done. Tux can't even pick up the exit frag. This is now a 5-0 scoreline in favor of Team Bliss.
Oh my god. Cthulhu, I'm starting to eat my words now. You better on Team Bliss to take Icebox, and they have a strong Icebox in the region, obviously. And something's just working out. All their players really awake and sharp. As you can see, popping heads left, right, and center. Jungle Wow being able to anchor down the B side fantastically. Solo as well, I want to point out. As soon as he hears utility out towards B long, he rotates back to a more defensive position towards Snowman, and that wall coming up from Tux early on, maybe it wasn't quite steady as he would have liked in the past. That allowed Jungle to get a early engagement.
Exactly. Already quite a few shots are coming out. Autumn picking up a very nice martial kill onto Fueches. That is a solid performance, but still not out of this yet. 2 marshals, some sheriffs, and as well as that, a Spectre. Disco getting pinged, but oh, Signed. Fantastic play there with the ultimate. It will be taking out Major. Wrongski, meanwhile, was able to get rid of Disco so far. 3v4 still workable for Order. They are going to get the plan down, but on a completely different site. The diversion worked out perfectly well here. And Tux as well, using the Viper's Pit, should be able to isolate the site for himself and at the very least be able to play off that and the health disadvantage from the get-go the moment anyone decides to step into the gas. So Wrongski, meanwhile, chipping away at the Order's positions from behind, is definitely going to have a few issues, but barely any HP for Easy is definitely going to be an issue. Another by Autumn as well, finding the kill into Wrongski. Some more of the utility being dumped by Tux right now. It's only Jungle Wow remaining, and this finally, the streak has been broken, and Tux finishes it off, just hunts down Jungle Wow, and unfortunately gets taken out by the bomb as well. So 5-1 scoreline is now finally on our hands. Order finally get on board with the points and break the 5-round streak that Bliss were able to achieve.
Yeah, Order, the diversion early round really worked out, and Team Bliss, look and say, is hook, line, and sinker. They managed to go for the aggression to counteract what Order was throwing them towards A. For sure, they got the kills, but it took them way too long. As a result, all the rotations were baited out. Order, they managed to walk onto the B side for free, pretty much. They had util just in case, and that single Viper's Pit from Tux, it definitely helped out. Of course, awesome with the Marshal popping off. As a result, time just ran out. Team Bliss, they finally lost the first round. And Order now going aggressive over towards B from mid.
Yeah, but there is a full lineup as well. Full set of buy-ups of Wrongski as well on the AWP. Absolutely Val nearly connects the shot, but no, actually Bliss absolutely mop up the floor with Order and just nearly signed. Could have gotten that, well, borderline, what, a 90-degree flick. Just couldn't really find that shot. Quite unfortunate for him, and, well, that's the 6th round. It's definitely looking like Bliss definitely done their homework. They are looking very prepared here.
Yeah, Team Bliss as well right now. They're about to have 4 ultimates online. They already have Flushes with the Resurrection Jungle Well, the Viper's Pit, Wrongski, Bladestorms to back up the Jet operator should he need to use it. Major, well, sure, the Empress, they can be used at some point to hold down a side defensive or attempt to retake. But that round, really, Order, they showed massive aggression towards mid, and this allowed Team Bliss to read the rotations, and they just rotated so fast, showing aggression. This time, Wrongski holding a different angle. He may be able to catch the top of the heads of some of the few players.
Oh, that is a bit of a risky play here from Wrongski, swapping out from the operator over to the Bladestorm. Could work out very well, but still a bit of a risk there. Finds one, that's Autumn. Can he find another one? That's signed as well, and manages to back out from the gunfight very quickly. Can he find a third? That's a third and a fourth as well. Wrongski. Oh, nearly a fourth. Jungle Wow from behind as well. Disco is the last man standing, but has the spike at the very least. Should be able to pick up the op as well. So maybe in a 1v4 he could at the very least stat pad a little bit. Maybe grab some money as well to get himself and the team on board for the next round. Yeah,
but now Wrongski, he was just able to run free consistently just then, picking up what was pretty much 4 frags. No one else from Order, they were quite on board to trade him out instantaneously. You saw Tux running out trying to get the headshot, but as a result, you know, Wrongski with the jet blades, he's fooling himself, and then the full movement accuracy from the ultimate as well, just allowed him to pick up such easy frags. Meanwhile, the Sheriff's in the hands of Order, you have to land precise, clean shots. You can't even afford to miss a single one. They did get one though on Disco, but now Operator, he's going aggressive. Gets a flick onto Jungle starting off, and can get the spike planted.
Absolutely vile flick, but that does alert the rest of the roster and the potential position of Disco. The slow warp comes around. Fueshist is going to be in a whole lot of trouble, already getting pre-fired, spammed through the wall, only 3 HP. Paint shells coming out for the dire play, and even a bit of a satchel charge there to the face of Major, but that won't be an issue. The defuse going to be coming around. Easy charge up, some more ultimate points, and easy score some more for himself. Empress and the revive is also ready and keen. Wrongski just used up his Bladestorm, but that was a perfect play. And honestly, right now, just it's a wrap here, honestly, for the first half, it feels.
7-1, but Order, you know, they managed to get 1 round previously. If they can at least win a few more towards the end of the half, it's not an entire loss. 5-7, that's already fantastic. But Wrongski, that was probably the best usage scenario of the jet blades I've seen in a while. He kept shooting them out one at a time, gets them refreshed, and goes for the repeaks using his utility, the jet dashes, the movement. Order, they really have to pull things back together. They have ultimate on the Bladestorms this time. Disco doing due diligence, clearing nests, and they're starting to aggress over towards the A site.
There.
Indeed, already an Empress has been popped on the side of Team Blizz. That's Major ready and keen to get some gunfights underway. Just about to still yet to use his C, but will be a little bit more patient here in that play in hopes of maybe finding a few pickups. But for now, it's Wrongski once again. The op to get the life of Texter will only be able to claim a single life, but for the time being, at the very least, that's some indication as to what are the plans for Order.
Oh, Order, that was a great start off, but now Kitchen is going to be hotly contested. Autumn also opens up into 1, and Flesh is trying to avenge his teammate. Thankfully, though, he does have the resurrection, so numbers are still even.
Indeed, yeah, Flesh is being able to finally get his ultimate ready to go. There's the showstopper as well. Disco, fantastic play, although that does leave him on about 30 HP, but still, regardless, that's a perfect frag here on Reina nonetheless. More utility being thrown in, just won't be able to connect with Signed at all. And with the spike now planted, a retake is in play, but information is being gathered around. Fuesha still should be able to get some early, very close angles. Disco, maybe to be the first one. That's the Viper Pit as well coming out, and then right now it's a bit of a bet to try to go in for the push. Autumn finding a kill onto Easy as well. That's the Silver Drone, Jungle Wow on the flank. Completely unaware of his position, so he could catch a few of the attackers off guard. Finds one, doesn't find another one. Finally, Order once again do break the streak, but geez, still a 5-round differential is quite an issue for them.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I really thought Order on the attack side, they will be able to leverage the Viper Walls and the double duelist setup with Signs Recon Arrows still to take the Signs relatively easier. But Team Bliss, they're just really taking things away. Granted though, Order, they did manage to take another round. There's 3 more left in the first half. So 5-7 scoreline isn't out of the question. However, Order starting to find their groove, starting to build up a little bit of economy and playing much better together as a team. Those 4 players standing at the previous Team Bliss, they just couldn't refrag. And then, you know, the mid-aggression coming up from Bliss didn't really pay off in the previous, and Order, the triple stacks really to secure those trades working out in their favor.
I'll definitely have to agree here. So far, Order seeming to just bringing in those large brain plays definitely have been paying dividends here. Although Bliss are still very much in control here in regards to the scoreline. Fuesha's absolutely beautiful peak here to be able to score the headshot onto Disco. That is the raise out of the equation. More info been gathered, but oh, Texter with a double picks up the 2 nice solid headshots on the flank. And right now the plan should still go down. Easy is going to try to prevent that, but the wall is just a little bit too thick. We'll be covering Texter away and slow orb as well to boot. So right now 3v4 still workable for Bliss regardless, but without the Viper Pit and with minimal amount of utility, this is going to be quite a rough play. The rest of Order now just waiting for the sound of the diffuser to start, and well, maybe going for the peak. Silver Ultimate coming out, gathering some information, but won't be fully connecting onto Wrongski, but at the very least, the damage has been already dealt. Oh, not really working out. Jungle Wow to trade out. Texter finding the third one. Can he fight the fourth? No, it's Signed with the shock arrow. Fantastic play, as that's the 3rd now point to go into the hands of Order.
Well, they're edging ever so closer to the predicted scoreline that I had. So, you know, Team Bliss, they had a really strong start, but now they're starting to slow down a bit. Order, they are adapting. That play was great, you know, especially coming out from Texter. He managed to get in such sneaky positioning as a result of no one on Bliss really watching the angle. It's a risky angle to watch, I will admit, because you have to watch out for pipes, the conveyor belt ramp as well. And Texter, oh look, just a sneaky position. That's what I can say. He won them that round. He managed to take sight more or less off his antics. And Major just had no idea. He got executed to the side of his head. Order, once again, slow plays. And the post plants are looking absolutely flawless right now.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Order do need to slow things down. And exactly that's what started winning them the rounds. They started, well, figuring out where exactly kind of the pressure point could be and play off of that information as well. Easy currently finds at least 1 player, I believe. That will be Autumn, but the beat from middle, Wrongski is able to bail out at the very least. There's some utility that has been already brought on board by the Viper of Jungle Wow. So right now, Order are starting to inch closer and closer to A side, and that is a perfect read from Bliss. Really full rotation over to A side. Will be all already prepped. The Bladestorm is starting to come out as well from Order. That's Autumn trying to find any kind of opening, but right now so many angles to really contest. This is going to be a very interesting one. There's a quick peek. There's Autumn finding, but it's so far still, it's back-to-back trades, 3v3. Maybe we shall be seeing some more frags here. Easy might get flanked out here. That is a possibility, but now it's a gathering of 3 Bliss players. One going on to just about the heaven, and oh, Easy finding their shot. Major as well to follow up. It's all down to Sign, the Clutchmeister possibly, but right now just deals damage to himself with a shock arrow and jungle wow to finish him off. That is the 8th round, and right now, well, for a fact, Bliss have locked in themselves some solid scoreline before the swap. And look, even if it is going to be an 8-4 say scoreline in somehow, it's still a very dominant and a very solid scoreline for Bliss to play around. They still have quite a plentiful amount of room for some of the hiccups, if they will have any.
Right here.
And whereas for Order, they need to start ironing out their play. The defense should be a much more preferable play for them, I would imagine, especially against Bliss. So maybe this is where they will be able to gain some more momentum for themselves.
Hopefully, a 4-8 score to finish things off. It's not the worst case scenario, but at the same time, it's a 4-round buffer, which is pretty big for Team Bliss, who, you know, favor Icebox greatly. This time, Ronsky looking to lock down the ramp angle with the operator. Order, once again, 5-man aggression, going over towards A. It's worked out for them probably better than B, but, oh, they're sneaking up so close now.
Yeah, Autumn could possibly find here. The element of surprise is now gone. Fwishes just too quick on the reaction and finding, oh, it's a bloodbath. 3v3. Somehow, Order was still able to trade out all of the lost agents right now, and a retake easy should be able to drone things out before the push comes out, and hears and sees the gunshots from Sign and the C from Major as well. Should have gathered some information, but won't be really picking up anything. Jungle wow outside the site, just thinking, should he do maybe go for a flank? Should they just save the Vandals? Now it doesn't look like it's going to be the case, since, well, the swap is going to be coming out, so they need to go all out. Autumn already having an eye there on the jungle position, and there it is. There's the trade. 2v1 though. Easy. Has the positions, has the gun, has the HP to clutch it out. Needs to find that headshot onto Autumn, but oh no. Right now running out of time here a little bit. Tries to go in for a peek. That's one. That's Signed out of the equation. Autumn very low on HP, and right now could be flat out outgunned here.
Yeah, I think easy. The adrenaline really hit him there, and you know he expected Autumn to be peeking him really aggressively. It didn't happen though. As a result, Team Bliss they do lose that round, and Order 4-8 scoreline. Not the worst thing, but not the best thing either. Like I mentioned earlier. I really want to point out in that round, a misplay, I would say, by Team Bliss. They had it was a 3-on-3 situation, and sure, the spike, it wasn't planted just yet, so I can sort of understand what they were going for the aggressive push, trying to get a frag to make the spike plant and post-plant situation even harder for Order. But as a result, them going aggressive, and was sort of one at a time as well, it just allowed Order to play the time advantage and pick up the frags, and that put it really easy into 1v2. Not advantageous, but he managed to almost clutch it out. It came close though, but look, just getting a little bit too aggressive and jumping the gun a little bit that round for Team Bliss.
Well, speaking of jumping the gun, it seems like maybe we shall be seeing a very aggressive attempt at the B take here from Team Bliss to see if they can maybe ramp up even more of their aggression here. Once again, Easy loving that owl drone, just finding a plentiful amount of information, but doesn't know about Tux's position, at least in my knowledge here. That's one tap, and he find another one. No, Tux just gets discovered way too quickly. And right now, it's a very quick collapse right onto B side. Disco finding one. Can he find two? Tapping away, just not enough. Can't find the headshot. Although that does leave Easy with barely any HP. Signed as well to trade out with Autumn. And now 2v2, but quite a health disadvantage here for Team Bliss's push. So maybe if Signed do end up finding the headshot onto Fweshes, well, he couldn't. Could have found one. Maybe that's Texter going to be the play here with a classic. Goes in for the peek, and he does connect it at the end. 47 HP and able to get a defuse. Order shortened down the round differential to only 3 rounds.
Yeah, Order, that was really dicey, I'll have to admit. But then again, Team Bliss, same story. Their players are sharp, they can get the frags, but some of them were just caught out of position, really. You had the spike planted, and you had Ronsky out there still trying to challenge and get kills for his life. He's leading the current server on 16 kills. Fantastic, but at the same time, it put your teammates into a worse position, and even the numbers advantage for Order on the retake. It came really close. Sign, he did go down, but then Texter pulled out, I wouldn't say the impossible, pulled out an absolute miracle, a 1-on-2. He isolated the 1v1s, and then point blank with the classic, manages to win against Worcester's clone. Order, they really are closing the gap as a result, SMGs and a Marshal.
Indeed, yeah. Interestingly enough, Order were bringing Marshals on their attacks and were able to actually make a pretty solid work of it, so I'm curious to see if that is going to be the case. Sign tapping a few more pieces of HP, and there we go. That's a kill between Sign and Disco. Autumn pitching in. Text is there as well. It's only down to Easy, and even he can't do anything about a 3-burst classic, so just like that, Order once again now looking pretty dominant, and this is exactly what I've been thinking what would happen here for Order. They seem to have had a bit of a struggle with dictating their momentum on attack, but once they've now moved over to the defense, things are certainly now looking very promising for them. Also, can I point out that Marshall skin is very trippy that Order is having.
It's called the parallax effect, I can tell you right now. Google it and you'll see what I mean. But regardless, Order, that was more or less a flawless round. As a result, they are going to be opting to play the bonus, save up money for going to the next round. And Autumn, he wants the ultimate orb. Oh no, it's for Sign actually, to bring him closer to Hunter's Fury. Meanwhile, it's a buy coming up from Team Bliss, and they are going to be aggressing onto the B sites. Tux forced back, a more defensive position. Marshall though, if he can land a sharp shot, it will give his team the advantage early on.
Yeah, quite a fair bit. It's been like that. You need to land your shots here, and quite a few times the underappreciated guns were the ones to actually come out victorious so far throughout the Nova Invitational. So maybe here that's going to be the play. Texter misses currently the cross from Wrongski as well. Easy finding the shot onto Tux without even, well, actually with taking some damage, but Texter not being able to break the ice before the plan does go down. So right now it's a retake play. The timer is starting to tick against the defense here, and Order do need to start pulling up some frags here, because even with Easy being tagged up, still going to be an absolute tall Order to clash out against. Fantastic flick from Major. Can he find another one though? That's another Viper War coming out. Autumn trying to defuse it, trying to stick it, but won't be able to find anything. Signed attempting to get the flick, but Major shuts him down. 9-6 scoreline between the two teams. Bliss continuing their lead, extending that range back again to 3 rounds.
Oh, Order, I honestly thought Tex that he could almost do it. That Sage Wall, you've seen it in the past, and frankly, that it's brilliant. You make the attackers post-spawn have to break through every single partition in order to get to the spike, and Texter, he was about to stick it. It was almost there, I'll be honest. Thankfully, though, it's the absolute mad aggression coming out from Easy, the team captain himself, putting his body first, sprinting straight in, secures the kill. Order, they are being able to buy into this round, and Ronsky gonna opt to get a early orb for the Blade Storms. And regardless, Sign picks up one up, looking for 2! And that's players of Team Bliss already tagged down, and 1 dead.
Yeah, tag onto Wrongski has been pretty solid, but that has been ever since negated thanks to Fweshes, so at the very least, Autumn, or rather not Autumn, pardon me, Wrongski will be able to get back into the fight with full HP. Apart from that, really, Order, that is a very solid beginning. Fweshes able to get a revive back onto Easy, so we're back onto 5v5, but already some time has been wasted, so at some point, Bliss are going to be pushed for time. They do able to find a shot on Texter, so that is a clean opening. Only a single op on Autumn, and if he is being pressured by multiple players from different angles, this is going to be an issue to deal with. Paint shells coming out, the smoke is there to prevent the scout. Jungle Wow finding Sign. This is all starting to once again fall apart, but a full rotation through middle onto B. The bait has worked out really well. Tux is out of the equation as well. It's down to Autumn and Disco to try to find any kind of, well, really opening and maybe few clutches, because right now this is starting to look dire. 10th round is looking to be on the horizon for Team Bliss, and even then that would be a complete issue. And look at this, just Major absolutely still being able to salvage his position perfectly. All down to Disco to try to maybe save a Guardian, but even then, I think Major is out here on a hunt. He wants to find those frags for Order. This is just looking very dire.
Disco, he does at least get 1 and should be looking to reclaim the operator for Autumn, because it's such a huge investment they don't want to lose. But Jungle Well, a second for Disco. He can maybe hold on to it, but 5 HP, and already you have Ronsky closing in on him. I don't think he's long for this world, I'll be honest. And it's the ring around the rosy, they're juking around each other. Ronsky has no idea. Okay, he does clean up towards the end. Now, that round, I have to say, Team Bliss, they used utility and I would say homework, perfection. I've always said it, right? for Order, Autumn, when he gets the operator, he's basically tasked to lock down a site. They managed to find out that he was locking down the A site, and you see Major, he could have peeked that long distance, but he opted not to. He just had a feeling that Autumn will be watching from all the way on site. As a result, you saw them maybe trying to multi-peek him with multiple players at once, and throwing out utility, the recon arrow, the Reyna Lear, just to basically deny Autumn the visibility. As a result, he lost the gun, and Major, thankfully, he managed to stay alive and deny him of the operator. Team Bliss looking to really close this one out, 10-6.
Yeah, look, right now this is perfect showcase from Bliss with their adaptation. Autumn playing a very up close angle in hopes of not getting scouted out by the drone, and well, rightfully so, will be found, will be tagged already. Autumn forced to bail out of his current position already. Another peek by Wrongski, and right now he's being blinded. Autumn just cannot find anything. Flashes onto text. The disco taken out. It's all once again falling apart. The Empress as well to rubbing the salt into the wound. And well, it's all down to Signed once again. This is looking like Autumn may as well at this point possibly forfeit, well, not forfeit, but finish off this map and whatever the score is, and then try to recuperate themselves onto map 2 and 3, because, yeah, look, Icebox seems to have been practiced way better by Team Bliss rather than Order, and for Order, they are being punished on each and every one of their plays. I mean, look, even with the previous, second to last round that we've seen, if Texter didn't really push up from the side and played a very passive angle with Autumn on AWP, that would have been a completely different outcome, I feel.
Potentially, very much of a potentially, but I think this late in, and look, all the players of Team Bliss, they're just fully feeling themselves. Once again, the A site, and you have a Jungle watching the flank potentially coming out from Autumn or Tux, who has switched up his positioning, by the way. Easy, finally, the Hunter Spirit to come out, and does tag Texter down a bit. Can't confirm a kill, but his team is working on the side.
Texter finally does manage to counter the very aggressive push by Wrongski and able to find that frag, but right now maybe Bliss could be halted here in a moment. They do start making a rotation over, or better yet, actually still trying to battle it. Viper from Jungle WoW will be trying to maybe make a play here around B side to try to draw away some information, but right now already the spike is still there, so the moment Easy and Freshest will go down, that's the spike drop, and that is going to be probably the last thing that Jungle WoW would have wanted, but until that he caught the bullet of the operator to the body. Signed as well to find the frag. Let's make it a 3. Easy to go down, and 11-7, still workable. Order could bring this back. It's still not yet a match point, so quite possible a reverse sweep could be in play here.
The possibility is not out of the question just yet, but that round you saw Jungle actually managed to get more or less almost onto B site. You did have also holding a long range angle with the operator, so that managed to do to take him down quite easily. But Team Bliss, they had 3 players still sitting on B next to a Sage wall, and you had so many players of Order just sitting there holding the angle down, and their persistence just really didn't pay off in that situation. All the frags just weren't going their way, but this time Bronski really going aggressive. He used a dash early on, and this looks like a B rush.
Certainly already Wrongski, absolutely sensational hit onto Texter, but Tux is able to refrag him finally. Will be the one to try to hold the play. The Viper Pit is actually starting to come out as well, but unfortunate timing. Tux able to find Fwishes, and that is a solid advantage here for Order. Not only the spike now being dropped in a very obvious position, now for the rest of the Bliss lineup, they will need to be very wary. Signed finding the shot into Major. That's the flank around now completely dealt with. The remaining 2 players are currently now playing close by to each other, so if one of them does get wiped, the other one may just follow suit. The drone is coming around to scout around inside the gas, but won't be finding anything. Disco picking up the kill into Easy. It's all down to Jungle WoW. He's playing in the comfort zone, but the pre-fire is all that is really needed. That's a frag. That's an 8th point. And once again, we're back to the same topic of 3-round differential here between the 2 teams.
Order you can never count them out because no matter what happens, they always find a way to bring it back. And as you can see, sharp plays there, and Tux, really the hero of that round, managing to push up with zero fear, denying the plant. That probably would have changed the outcome of that entire round, and that just put really stress on the other few players of Team Bliss, having to retake the spike, get it planted, and easy first to go down. Jungle Wow, look, it was 1 against 4, and he was getting pinched in from all the angles. Everyone, they could smell blood, and you know, he falls at the end. The ultimate, I wouldn't say gone to waste, but it was just the timing by Tux. He managed to catch the plant off guard.
Yeah, the timing was definitely quite the most unfortunate part. That is a perfect scout arrow, but right now, oh, perfect by Sign. Fantastic read. That's the spike down. That's freshest out of the equation. And I believe actually, well, freshest, yeah, was 1 kill away from the ultimate, so could have actually been able to turn the tide around. Signed. Oh, very aggressive decision to play with the drone, but well, both him and Major decide the better of it to try to back off the angle, but still be very wary about it. Autumn holding a solo angle on B side with an operator and should still be able to shut down whenever the push does happen, which is on its way as well. 3-man push with still Major trying to contest middle. It is going to be a peak, but Signed is the one to actually shine, or just shunt him out, and Order are now completely clueless about that play until Autumn calls it out. This is going to be a different outcome, finding the shot onto Wronski. Autumn, fantastic play with the operator, but right now, trying to play for some elevation, maybe. But no, instead, they're just waiting for the rest of Order to make a rotation. That's Tux now going down to the hands of Easy. Texter is also tagged up severely right now. Signed with a drive-by there with a Vandal. Spike down B. And right now it's all down to Jungle Wow. Yet again, the man is forced into either just a save or maybe try to play for some exit frags. But even then, this is going to be an issue for him. No armor, only a Vandal to boot, and no ultimate as well. He just recently used it and unfortunately still couldn't find a dub. 11-9 is now going to be our scoreline. Order possibly starting to find their footing yet again here.
Yeah, they're bringing it really close. Team Bliss, I don't want to say they're choking, but probably this is the most textbook definition, I would say. It's come this far, and then it's just those micro mistakes that come out. Wronski, he peeks by himself dry. Autumn was lying in wait. Jungle Well should have contacted him early on in the previous few rounds. Autumn plays the same angle, holding the long distance with the operator. Same story again, because they're starting off this round. And the Viper Wall, it didn't come down, and Wronski peeked out as a result. There was already a man advantage, even more so for Order. Autumn again, holding a kill box angle, looking to get some frags. Wronski, however, does get a off angle. Autumn does miss, and they do confirm numbers are over towards the B side. Rotations coming through from Order.
Yeah, but this time there is also going to be Texter as well to try to cover Autumn as well on the fallback. Able to actually provide a crossfire, but right now that toxic wall is going to be there. Some more information to be gathered. Autumn picking up a kill onto Easy. That's an early advantage, but right now that's a fantastic angle to actually play off for Major. Does spot Texter as well. Does spot Disco. Finds Disco actually and gets the hidden as well, but Precious to be able to revive Easy. We back into the actual advantage for Bliss yet again. Autumn though still doing quite some work here, trading out Texter as well. Bit of a ambitious swing by Tux, and well, that's yet another disadvantage. Still though, 2v3 workable here. Signed nearly picking up the frag, but so low in HP. Needs to find those headshots if he wants to make a play. But right now it's a lineup for him. Only last player remaining, and Jungle Wow could not stop that defuse. That is an atrocious mistake there, and a misplay by Bliss, and a fantastic turnout for Order.
Oh, Order, they should not have really won that round. It was a clean take by Bliss. They got the frags. They were going hard. And in the final lineup, Sign going huge for his team. Was it Sign? I'm pretty sure it was. With a double spray down. Now look at him. He stopped fragging for his team. All it took was the defensive half. 20 kills. One off of having the Hunter's Fury they used literally 2 rounds ago. Ultimates favoring Order. Autumn still sitting on the operator, causing to be so much trouble for Team Bliss. And now Tux trying to anchor down the B site with the Viper's Pit.
Yeah, curious to see that a very early pop of Viper's Pit, but that should be indicating that, well, probably would be the best idea not to push B then for now, to just flat out let that Viper Pit go to waste. Sign finding some form of information, but right now Major could really throw in a bit of a surprise here for Order. If somebody decides to go in for the peak. Right now, a bit of a gathering actually starting to happen around B side. They poked around on A, couldn't really find anything. Poked around middle, nothing there either. And right now, just it's Tux waiting to, I suppose, welcome the opponents into his pit.
And the Viper Wall came up. Tux, of course, he has the pit, trying to anchor down the B site. The Viper Wall came up from Team Bliss, I think, over towards the B site. Granted, Tux has his over towards A, and Major opens up onto Texter. He waited for the wall to break, and Texter already, the stage is gone. No resurrections available for Order in this round. 3 players, more or less, however, still locked, anchoring down onto the A side. Also with the Operator. A long distance shot or in the initial pick, that's all he really needs. But Disco is really the man of the hour here to get the job done for Order.
100%. Still doesn't have, though, the ultimate, and there is the Empress that has been popped from the side of Bliss. Ready Vronsky finding the kill the jungle while finding another one onto Disco. The Viper Pit is still there, but it's only all on B, so no more of that. Signed might have to bust out the Sova ultimate if he wants to recover this round, but it seems highly unlikely in a 2v5. Gonna go for a peek from heaven, and next up is going to be Freshes to try to take that gunfight. Tux is there to try to maybe assist with that play, but currently being locked out of his positions and all of his angles, and right now it is going to be 2 kind of very disconnected gunfights. Tux and Signed. Easy may be able to be refragged here by Tux for the exit frag, but apart from that, it is a 12th round to go very firmly into the hands of Bliss, with no real loss to the economy, although Tux does find one for himself, nearly finds a second one, but gets refragged, so at the very least some softening has been done. But you look at the utility and the economy as well for Blitz, they're all looking perfectly fine. It's a full buy-up. Same actually could be said for Order, but look, they are sitting on a match point. The only opportunity that they do have is the match point.
2 more rounds. That's what Order needs to bring into overtime. But Team Bliss, they're looking strong now. The adaptations back and forth from these 2 teams. Order, just when they think they've got a string onto how Team Bliss plays the attack, they change things up, and they're starting to pull more fakes now. Order. Oh, they may be caught off guard, but Science, great intuition, managed to catch easy off of a tag, and looking for a second, but that's already so much damage done. Team Bliss, no resurrection just yet, and they've already lost their team captain out of the round. He was the one with the Hunter's Fury after all. Order, oh man, like, I have a feeling we are going to see overtime coming to this. That previous round I want to mention, Order, some of the players, they were just missing their shots. You know, Disco, he was playing up in that high angle, and too many players already aggressed on. It just proved to be jet on jet action. Vronsky, he was sharp and awesome in that engagement. And just the silence, the noise cutting coming out from Team Bliss gave them the advantage. Aggress onto A, and that's done and dusted. Tux, the lone player to hold down B. No rotations out just yet, and Team Bliss just waiting for the wall to go down before they aggress.
Exactly, yeah. Few more seconds before the push now starts to happen. Give us time for maybe a bit of a rotation for Order to begin, but they don't have any information yet. No footsteps have been heard. This is the utility. There's the execution as well. The angle has been held. Tux just only finds one. A few more pre-fires could have been actually ending jungle well, but Vronsky is able to find a shot onto Texter. There's the Blade Storm coming out from both sides, as a matter of fact. Vronsky to try to find the shot onto Tux and should be able to find it, but no, Tux is just a little bit more sharper with that Vandal. Plants are starting to go down. 4v2 now, though. Viper and Arena against the borderline nearly full stack of Order's defense. There's the peak as well. Jungle while being tagged up. Oh, meanwhile, Major does find a shot. That's a double as well. Actually, the defuse is starting to maybe juke out with too much information. Major got lost in the sauce, and well, Order do pick up themselves the 11th point. So only 1 round away from pushing this into OT, and that is going to be a very solid turnout for them if they do able to push it out, because right now for Bliss it is going to be a bit of a shakier economy, although still workable with a full buy, although a light armor for Freshes.
Yeah, that round, I hate to say it, you know, but Vronsky, he felt himself and he brought out the ultimate, trying to go for a hero play to even up the man advantage for Team Bliss. And as a result, Tux, probably the player with more experience, he's just lying in wait. Crosshair placement was perfect, a single tap, and that finished the job. Team Bliss, just a strong man disadvantage in that case. 4 on 2. It could have been a 4v3, which is much doable. And now, Team Bliss, this is it. Last round of regulation, do or die, and they are looking to execute over towards the A site. A tag already coming out from Autumn, I think. He managed to bring down, I'm not too sure who it was. A Viper util. Regardless, it's the B take, A take to come through.
Oh boy, some ult is coming out as well from the Sova of Team Bliss. That is going to be easy from trying to find some damage. Some damage has been actually dealt, but it will be redeemed again here. Disco finding the kill into Flashes. That is a solid beginning here, but does leave himself tagged out quite substantially. Autumn as well to find the frag. Bit of a refrag coming action here for Texter as well, and being able to get Disco back into the action right now. It's down to Jungle Wow and Major falls. Jungle Wow is the last man standing. There's the showstopper, and a very explosive way to finish this very round. We are going into overtime here, Digital.
Yep, and look, I called it a long time ago, and it absolutely happened. Order, you cannot write them off. Sign, he started off slow, but now he's just leaps and bounds over everyone. Now it's 24 as Sova, the initiator or support player for his team, realistically, utility-wise. And I want to point out, in the previous round, the previous round as well, Major, he was starting to get it done, then opts for the overheal, and instead signed the recon arrow. It was just perfect positioning, landed right on the Major, and he was just so confused, and there was instant destruction. Overtime, the first round of overtime, I can't believe, first game of the day, first map, as coming this far. Order, they may continue their momentum yet, because the second half has been all Order. Team Bliss on the defense, same story, they are leaving Jungle well over to the B side to anchor it down.
Definitely already a very strong opening here. Trying to fall back for Jungle Wow. He needs to make sure that he keeps a very passive angle. Poison Orb starting to try to block some form of damage, but right now won't be really able to disrupt any kind of push. Order and try to find some early momentum. Wow. Jungle Wow, fantastic tap onto Autumn's head. That is one out of the equation. Pain Shells are there to deal some damage, but only 18 health remaining. This could be crucial to future push, but right now already easy made a rotation. The rest of Bliss about to make a rotation as well. Scout Arrow is there to try to just slow things down, and once again information has been gathered. The rotation is possibly being called around, or maybe just a bit of a juke. Major doing a fantastic job getting rid of Disco. It's now down to a 5v3 once again. Order showing a few cracks in their performance here, trying to find some form of opening for themselves that will go in their favor, but with the way how things have been so far going down, it's just quite unfortunate.
Yeah, I was going to say that Team Bliss, they were jumping the gun a little bit, especially with Easy and his util, the shock darts. But, oh, okay, Tux, maybe the hero to change things around. There's already one frag starting off, and the man advantage, only one down for Order this time. Jungle Well, oh, he has to strike right now. He's been in this position all along, and this plant, it won't be towards where he expected. Signed, maybe able to catch the frag. At least Texter, oh, shows his bangs, and we're going to take him down. Signed, 1v2, it's doable. 39 HP though, one shot away from death. Major lying in wait, done and dusted. Team Bliss, they win the first round in overtime, and one more round is all they need.
Exactly, and Team Bliss actually showed us a perfect execution previously of their attack as well, so surely they would have a perfect chance here to shut down that comeback, I suppose, from Order right here, right now, and not force it into double overtime, because if we do remember correctly, Order lost to Wildcard on a double overtime, so this is definitely where maybe a few flashbacks could be coming in for Order. They do want to finish this map in their favor. They will definitely need to play this out, push this into a double overtime, because...
Well, yeah, look, it could be deja vu or PTSD, thinking how long the previous game with Wildcard went. Now this is Team Bliss, and arguably, you know, a better icebox. That's one hell of a dart. Jungle does pop it. But Team Bliss over to aggress onto the A site, and Order 4 players already rotated over, looking to anchor it down.
Already another very aggressive push by Wrongski, but this time read into perfectly by Texter. Another swing in, but Precious is the one to claim the frag. 30 HP. It's the satchel charge, I believe, that claims the frag. Signed Tux as well. Bitch into the cause. It's all down to Easy. The man gets the spike, could potentially bail out, but the moment he turns his back, Disco peeks out. That's a 13-13 scoreline that has been just achieved by Order. Back into the second overtime here between the two teams, as now we are back to the same scenario. 2 points need to be achieved here by either one of the teams.
Cthulhu, this is going back and forth, and just when you think Team Bliss, they have it in the bag, Order, they turn things right around. And that was a really clean side hold. The read from Team Bliss, all the early rotations from Order was just perfect. And Team Bliss, I think they're done trying to play slow and just go aggressive. It's just not working out against a team like Order. When they have a distinct man advantage, things are working much better. On the side, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's the exact same setup, leaving jungle over towards B. This time, a different angle though. Maybe able to start off again. I'll take it back. He goes down, and Order, they've taken the B site free.
Absolutely amazing rush there from Order, and reading perfectly into how will jungle really play his position. Disco picking up another one, nearly picking up actually. Wrong skin. That's a bit of a ring around a rosy. That's a second one, but gets shut down by Fuertes. The damage, though, has been already dealt. It's down to Major and Fuertes, and no ultimate is there, really, unless Fuertes picks up a double kill for himself. So that's a bit of a gamble there. The slow orb is well for Major, but gets shut down. Signed, possibly the last one, but no, it's Texted to find the frag onto Fuertes. Order now going to the advantage and into their defense that has been so far pretty clinical. It's the defensive side that was able to bring Order back into the play, into the overtime. So definitely the stakes are now even higher for Bliss. They want to finish this map. They want that advantage for themselves in the maps. But right now, Order might just pull off a heist.
Order. Oh, the tables have turned indeed. Team Bliss, they're against the wall, I have to say. Back onto the attacking side, and that was another 4 players standing round for Order. They won that. Team Bliss, a curveball this time, going for the mid aggression. 5 players, and this could work out disastrously.
Very curious decision to go in for a push mid to B. Easy's actually the one to open up onto Texter. There's a good beginning here now. Signed. Oh, gets himself scattered out. So at the very least, that's one of the defender's position has been revealed. Looks like we may be looking into another OT. Shock arrow does connect. Easy knowing and holding his position. Bliss finding the shot. Wrongski as well. Disco able to find a refrag, but 4v2 once again with already timer now going through what I believe is at least one of the quarters of the time. It is going to be quite a rough run and a half. Although the flank, oh, perfect kill into Wrongski. Does find potentially an opening. Fuertes gets tagged up and Disco finds him. That's a 2v2. Very workable, but unfortunate timing there for Signed. Decides to push out and peek out with the knife. There's the showstopper as well coming out. That's the kill as well. Disco is able to find it, but no, he cannot defuse it. That is very unfortunate. Quite a very unfortunate timing there. Bliss do find themselves that point, but oh my goodness, what a play from Disco.
Jesus Christ, Disco, he was just dancing over their dead bodies in that round. You thought that was a 4v2 Order. They're back against the wall, and then suddenly, you know, just it all started off with that initial pick onto Wronsky and Team Bliss. They were caught off guard, and then Disco just popping absolutely off, leaping in onto the side, picks up 3 for himself, sharp shots all the way. Finally has the ultimate, cleaned up Major, but Team Bliss fantastically played on their end as well. They bought enough time. The spike was too late to be defused, and yet double overtime. Here we go. We're seeing wild card versus Order vibes. Order this time pulling a page out of Team Bliss's playbook, going aggressive down mid, looking to edge over towards the B side.
Definitely very aggressive push now. Jungle Wow is still there. Wrongski is still there. Fwesh is about to rotate over and easy to assist with some information. Jungle Wow is still able to keep the position. That's a huge call out. Huge amount of information being called now. And right now a pre-fire should simply deal enough damage to force the Order to start pushing around. That's another swing. Tux finds Easy. 3v3 currently in play with the spike down. Jungle exposing his position now. There is some information as to where the push is coming. The sound cues are there as well. Might actually start happening here, but Fuertes is able to find Autumn. It's a bit of a trade-off here between the two players. This crossfire is there. Jungle Wow just can't seem to be able to find the footing, and there it is, Signed. Once again, winning out Order. Now starting to get clinical on their attacks, but it's the defense that so far betrayed them on overtime.
I am starting to feel it right now. Signed. He's awoken 30 bomb. This man is unrelenting. Somehow, just amongst all the gunfire, you know, his position was absolutely hidden up top of the hut there, and no one of Team Bliss was even looking up. He managed to use his util and confirm the final kill, essentially just, you know, mopping up Team Bliss. It's the exact same scenario coming up from both teams on the attack. They take side, they plant the spike, but then just could not finish out the round. This is a honest to God slugfest at this point. Team Bliss though, you have to give the mad props. They're getting the trades and they're getting the flanks, getting all the kills.
Oh, well, talking about the trades and the kills right now, another execution this time about to come out on from Bliss back onto the B side. Tux, ready and keen. Does he have the ultimate? He does not. Still needs 3 more points to gain the Viper Pit, but right now it's a full-on gain here. Major still running the disruption on middle, but will be playing a very passive game. The moment he hears a few more cues, might go in for the swing, does destroy the Silver Drone. Peek around, comes around, it's Texter to fade out with the sign and get the Major, but right now the openings are starting to happen. Wrongski opening up on Texter, that's one. Back to a 4v4, can we find a 4v3 in a moment? Maybe, after a few more damaging shots. Still the plant is yet to go down, and it's a rotation actually starting to happen from A side. 2 players remaining on B. The rest are pushing back. Freshest and Easy try to fall back through middle, and it's only going to be Autumn holding down A. Should be able to give substantial amount of information, and it should be a good read from Order. Yeah, there we go. Signed, rotating over, should be able to assist, but he is not fully well aware. The take is starting to happen. Autumn about to start opening up, and right now the shock arrow is coming out. At the very least, the presence of one of the players is now made well aware. Another angle. Shock dart coming out, trying to find a shot, trying to find some damage. Autumn picking the kill into Jungle Wow, but Freshest to trade out Autumn. This could be a bit of a dire one, but Freshest gets the revive as well into Jungle Wow, but only for him to get instantly refragged. Freshest is there. Tux picking up one. Nearly another one on Freshest. It's all hinging on him because right now it's all down to Wrongski. He's on full HP. He could very much be able to out-frag here. 1v1 situation. The defuse is starting to actually be stuck around. No, get to half HP, but no! Cannot clutch it out. We're going into yet another overtime here between Bliss and Order just for map number 1.
Cthulhu, it doesn't stop. It's going back and forth, man. What the hell? This is Icebox map 1. Guys, relax. Save some energy. It's a best of 3. But neither team, they don't want to give up map 1. They want to establish dominance and send a message right off the bat. And if anything, the message that is being said right now, Team Bliss, they are showing up and telling Order, we are not to be trifled with on Icebox. This is our map, and we're going to start off strong. Order this time starting off on the defense. A 3-player stack from Team Bliss. This could be brutal.
Very similar setup here from Team Bliss, back on their defense, having a fair few angles to really contest and force Order into that uncomfortable ground. That is a very hefty push about to be brought on board. The scout drone is there to bring some information. Autumn picking up a kill into Major. That is a fantastic opening. Now going in, swinging in for the angle. Texter picking up the one onto Wrongski. That's a trade between Freshest and Texter, but right now it's a site lockdown as well. Easy in hopes of trying to find some form of opening, but yet again it's Texter's revive onto Autumn. Maybe a little bit of a hasty one, but regardless, for now an attempt at opening 15 to 15. It's a swing by Jungle Wow to see if maybe he can find a frag here. Finds one, but can't find another one. 1v4, but his position has been revealed. The wall has been broken open. Finds the headshot with a final round in the mag, but can't really do anything past that. Order yet again finding themselves that match point on the overtime, 16 to 15. Oh man, Digital. This is an absolute nail-biter from the get-go, it feels.
Yeah, Wrongski, he's about to 30 bomb as well. In fact, so many players in this game are about to 30 bomb. Disco's right behind, signed. Once again, it's been reset. The sides are switched. Awesome, investing $5,000 into the operator. The dividends haven't exactly been paying off in the previous few rounds, but this may be the game changer. However, Team Bliss, they aren't starting off on the A take. It's going to be edging over towards B. Tux, he's going to have to anchor down hard, and he's utility flying out, calling for rotation already. As you can see, Texter already coming to his assistance. We might just be seeing yet another overtime, but Order, they could close things out right now. In the previous round, though, I have to say Order, the take was perfect. They managed to aggress onto the site as an entire unit, and the shots from Team Bliss just weren't landing. No trades to come through, planting behind the Sage Wall as well. The Viper Wall from Tux, it was perfect. It concealed so much positioning, as you saw when Jungle Well tried to go for a peek. I think got one, but then just absolutely destroyed instantaneously after. Order, There's maybe a few wild cards they're pulling out, no pun intended, at this stage in the game.
Yeah, definitely still trying to play the better game here. Bliss looking very cautious about how they want to approach the singles for Order, but they are ready. They got the paint shells prepared. There's the grenade coming out. Autumn finding the shot onto Major. That's the flank out of the equation. So now the rest of the team should know that the rest of the presence is there. On side, on B. The plant is about to start going down, but the boombot is also there to gather some form of information. But right now,
30 seconds
bit
left.
cautious. 30 seconds remaining. The plant needs to go down sometime soon, but right now so much utility has been already wasted. Not a single actually ultimate on any side of the either one of the teams, and right now it's going into the DK and going in for the plant. That is a very ballsy push. Precious, absolutely sensational play, but doesn't really pay off. That's one for Easy though. Can he find another one? Tag him up? No, can't find anything. That's a peek by Ronski. Nearly finds the second one. 1v3. Easy. Could really throw in a spanner in the works. Can he find that one? There's a bait, but only that's a one. That's a GG for map number 1. Order do manage to pull it off. 15-17 in their favor.
It's finally over. Order off of that. They managed to you know, win out the round in triple overtime. Man, I'm pretty sure it's quadruple. Thankfully though, we're done and dusted. We can finally go to Ascent map 2. But Team Bliss absolutely gave them a run for their money. And honestly, in a perfect world or a slightly different scenario, Team Bliss would have come out on top. I think they definitely have a stronger icebox in my opinion. But it was just those micro mistakes with jumping the gun and the aggression, like you saw earlier. You know, Ronski peeking out by himself without any utility coming down to help him on the push. And it gave Order the initial pick. It's stuff like that, you know, those small kinks in their playstyle and just how fast or eager they are. Once those get ironed out and become a more disciplined team like Order, I'm pretty sure one day we should see Team Bliss on top in OC for Icebox at the very least. But Order, you can't deny them. Even though they were struggling for the first half, you can't count them out. You know, Sign, especially the kid himself, Dale Tang, the man, the myth, the legend, warming up, especially towards the end, just popping off huge, fragging out 31 for himself, 5 first bloods on par with Autumn. And I'll be honest, I think Team Bliss, they were, in a sense, shutting down Autumn this game. They weren't really allowing him to get those initial opening frags with the Operator. He got a few, but it's much less than what I've seen in the past coming out from him holding down the A site.
Yeah, the moment Autumn and the rest of Order were kind of allowed to go for those cheekier plays, it certainly all kind of went and turned around. Fantastic play for them, but they're not out of this just yet. We do have a couple more maps coming right up, and I believe we are going to be taking a little bit of a break. So don't go too far away, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be back after a short break, so take it easy, get some drinks, and we'll see you in a bit.
Yep, you heard the man. See you soon.
be able to recuperate themselves here.
Oh, sorry, the Michael stuff actually, if you could repeat all that again.
Right, okay, so we did see just essentially Order run away with the multiple overtimes here for themselves, like you said, but yeah, look, Ascent is going to see Order begin things on the defense, and possibly this is where they're going to ramp up themselves some good amount of points, seeing as their defense on Icebox was absolutely clinical, so quite possible this is going to be the case here, or maybe Bliss will show us some fantastic attack here, really. So we'll have to see how things will really go. But honestly, yeah, I'm keen to get into the matchup because I feel like Order might be able to just put the foot down here.
I'm gonna have to agree with that because Ascent, it's a map with more, stronger execution. There's a team that comes out, more organized on top. With sharper aim, especially, they should be able to take it home. And we can't really deny these abilities and the skills on both teams coming into this because look, Team Bliss, they've absolutely shown up tonight. Fleshist, Jungle, Ronsky, Major, they're all hitting their shots. Easy, the team captain, his brain's overheating. Trying to make the big calls to help out his team, lead them to victory. Meanwhile, for the side of Order. Oh gosh, I can't really say it's a quiet one for Autumn tonight because it hasn't been quiet. Team Bliss has just been avoiding him on Icebox. But in coming to this, everyone else, the exact same story. All 4 players, especially Signed, they're popping off, having a great time. So I'm really eager to see Icebox and see literally the head-to-head matchup against the Titans. And also, guys, earlier it was muted, so I'll just say. This is the Nova Order Invitational presented by Logitech G, and welcome back. I'm Digital, and of course with me, Cthulhu, ANZ.
Thank you. Well, Digital, so far we've seen a very interesting pick phase actually for the agents on both sides. We do see the introduction of Killjoy for Order, as well as that the Astra as well for Texan to come out. So no more Sage this time, so a little bit more utility to be able to block some of the sidelines. On the side of Bliss, though, the introduction of Astra plus the Cypher, does that kind of bring us to any kind of initial thoughts, maybe?
Not really. I would probably have to say Killjoy, she's probably the better Sentinel to be played on Ascent, although a lot of teams, they do make Cypher work, especially the camera. Exoclan, as an example, Ian himself playing Cypher, he tends to put the camera on, I wouldn't say tricky positions, but at least to get early intel and confirm positionings of the enemy team when they aggress on. Regardless, it does seem to be a strong B push coming out from Team Bliss.
Indeed, yeah, already a few looks at the opening up at the B side. Major gonna try to find himself maybe some early peaks, but right now, damage instead is being brought on board as the Pain Train from Signed. Fantastic plays so far. Astra of Texter will be trying to set up a few of the sideline blockages there on mid and B main, or rather A main, pardon me. Apart from that, it's a mid to B looking to be Autumn. First frag, that is an awesome beginning here, but right now the Reina of Major here could really throw in a spanner in the works, but instead it's a dink straight onto the dome piece. Another opening, it's just Autumn being pressured from multiple angles, and right now this is a bit of an issue. Wrongski possibly finding that needed opening. That's the closure of the door into the middle, into the market. And right now Signed is playing solo dolo here on the side, but won't be able to even find anything. Jungle, maybe to hold off the push here by Texter, as it is a 3v3, but the health disadvantage is a little bit there.
Spike planted.
Unfortunately for Order, but maybe they will be able to make do of it. We've seen a few really solid clutches to come around. Turret comes around, that's the Killjoy trying to find some openings. Texter and Tux pitch into the cause. That's Texter with a double. That's a fantastic opening here.
Yeah, Order, they obviously got the man advantage starting off early, getting the kills, but then Team Bliss, they actually managed to bring things back, just aggressing onto the site, and no small part due to Ronsky. In fact, the only player on the team right now to even have kills on the board. The jumping down mid-air kill into Sun, I definitely guarantee he wasn't expecting that to happen, and that was site essentially open. But however, they lost 2 players early on, and damage was also dealt onto Ronsky, I believe, by someone else, I think Texter at some point. So as a result, Order, they went to that retake with the healthful advantage at very least, and Texter with the util paired with Disco, the paint shells. They could have done some damage, but thankfully Bliss, they went for the default plant, and now once again another B execution ideally. But yeah, Awesome. He wasn't able to get a kill at mid with the Marshall, so that's 1 man advantage going the way of Team Bliss.
At the very least, Ronsky got tagged up, which should enable further down the line a easy frag Texter to open up onto Major. Now that is some good as well riddance as well in favor of Order. On the side of Bliss, it is going to be a rotation through the spawn to see if they can find some form of openings. Nobody's actually on A side, so Easy should be able to give that call out in a moment. Although a moment of hesitation could pretty much ruin the whole momentum so far. Signed might just be able to throw in a spanner in the works. Has a Marshall as well in his utility, as well as that the Owl drone to come around as the information. Tucks have been spotted, but so is Easy, I believe. So the swarm grenade coming out to try to disrupt some push. Few peeks, but to no avail just yet.
No avail, but meanwhile, Disco on the long flank manages to catch one. Looking for more, opening up Team Bliss. They managed to plant the spike at the very least. But all the kills find the way of Order and complete retake.
Absolutely phenomenal play there, really. Disco with a huge 3k flank. Really managed to secure that dub and managed to finally solve the problem with the site retake there.
Yeah, going into that round, really, Team Bliss, there wasn't really much they had to work with. It was classics. Granted, they opened up mid fantastically, Awesome going really aggressive and missing their shot, unfortunately. You don't tend to see it coming out. I think he tends to actually get those kills with the Marshal after winning the pistol round. It just, you know, the double peek from Team Bliss managed to catch him off guard this time. Order in this round looking to play the bonus round. And Team Bliss, of course, they managed to get the spike planted 2 rounds in a row. They have money, they have armor, they have rifles. But it's only Vronsky with kills on the board. Order, they could potentially hold this down, and the recon arrow starting off is in the right position.
Already paint shells coming out, but Disco unfortunately whiffing that one and actually dealing some damage for him. Boombot is there to maybe try to at least slow down the general push, although Order may just be spotted with the drone. Does get spotted, and well, maybe some information could be relayed. Doesn't take actually any damage, but it's actually a push by Vronsky finding the shot. That's a major as well. Frag. Astra, though, opening up, Texter finding that frag. At the very least, gonna just slightly throw in a bit of a disruption there into the fray. Astra off Bliss is still ready to find some more disability there and disabling. So Texter, some fantastic job, but right now Jungle, landing some shots. There's nearly a lineup, but Tux is able to find that frag. Still damage is being dealt. All down to Cypher and the Sova as well of Bliss. That's Easy finding a shot onto Tux. Wishes to clear that up, and that's a round now to go into the hands of Bliss.
Yeah, Team Bliss, they managed to win that round. Yes, they got some ultimates out of it. Yes, but they lost 3 players. Losing 2 players on your first buy round, it's probably not the end of the world, but 3, that's when it starts to get a little bit problematic. Thankfully, though, they'd have enough money to buy back, and Vronsky having the Blade Storms online coming into this, it will benefit his team greatly. So it's probably the best case scenario they have coming into this. Order, on the flip side, they're very close to having a few ultimates. Texter with the Cosmic Divider, this goat, and the Showstopper. But this time, Awesome. My god, here comes the Operator, looking to lock down and get an early pick towards A. But Team Bliss, if they've done the research, as you can see there, the Shock Dart nearly killed him. He has no armor.
Indeed, and as well as that, there's a bullet for Major with a name of his there, but Vronsky is still there. He's ready to frag out, and he's got the Blade Storm ready to roll, but so is Disco ready and keen. There's the ultimate from Astra coming around, but the site take is already there. Texter might just be able to introduce an element of surprise, but curious to see what could be done here. That's one headshot. Can he find another one? There's some more information, but right now it's the Blade Storm that finds the frag. Op is being picked up, and just like that, thanks to the Astra's ultimate, the sidelines have been blocked out, so Tux willing to go and manually go and he'll do all the job by himself. Tries to disrupt the plan, does actually do that, and quite successfully retakes the site yet one more time. Another Blade Storm, but Tux is a little bit more clinical there with a Vandal. Jungle Wow, last man standing, trying to find the frag, but already getting spotted, and Signed is the one to wrap it up.
Order, the retake looking so clean. They used utility to perfection, really. Especially, that wasn't actually the Cosmic Divide to come out from Texter. It was on Jungle. And I can't really say it favored Team Bliss all that much in that situation. But in no small part, that round going the way of Order was due to Disco just biding his time, being so patient. Essentially, half of the site was blocked off, so there were less angry people to see him, essentially, hiding in the little hidey hole. Gets the initial frag. Vronsky does trade back briefly, though, but already the man advantage was swinging the way of Order, and they just close things out. Clinical.
Exactly. Well, round 5 is on the way. Autumn already abandoning the position on middle in hopes of just keeping the op right now, and more damage is actually being dealt. Even though the door was closing, Vronsky was able to claim a headshot, but paint shells are there. It's the Boombot as well. Absolute fantastic play. That's an op kill as well for Autumn. Easy to go down. Jungle Wow try to push through the smoke, but will be actually met with some prejudice, and a very extreme one nonetheless. Disco's to find one. It's all up to Weshes. He can't find anything. It's borderline a flawless round.
Autumn, you said earlier, you know, coming to this, that this is the map in which they put their foot down and, you know, establish dominance, and this is already a good start. This is exactly what Team Bliss did to Order on Icebox. Order coming to this, of course, they have guns, they have money to work with. Autumn still hanging on to the operator. And it's 4 ultimates on the side of Order. They can have so much fun and get anything done. Team Bliss able to reinvest, but should they lose this round, Order guaranteed they'll establish a much stronger lead and starting to, you know, run away with this game. Autumn looking to get an early pick initially towards B-Link.
Yeah, right now, cheeky peek. There's already some information, but the scout drone is there. Major about to go in for the peek onto Texter. Doesn't know that there is actually a position and a fantastic free fire. Autumn loving those plays right now. And with that frag, actually, it does force Bliss to fall back. They can't really reach or try to refrag because they knew that there will be a little bit of a stack maybe. Though they are gearing up for a push over to the A main, so quite possibly that could be the play here.
Well, one can hope really, but you know, Order 3 players, they're already sitting there, and Tux is getting ready to dump down the Killjoy lockdown, and when he does, the take is going to be almost impossible regardless. So Ronsky, he dashes on the side first as a Jet should, and Autumn, I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a sneaky shot and dash away.
Oh, Autumn! Absolutely fantastic plays yet again. Ronsky, though, is able to find a refrag. That's the defender Killjoy lockdown coming out. Freshest does find the shot onto Texter whilst escaping the position, and while the spike hasn't been really planted, so right now at the very least the time has been drained. Make it 2v3. Tux does pick up a kill into jungle whilst trying to get that rotation, and right now it's another attempt at the push towards the A main. Oh, Autumn nearly landing that shot. Freshest very low on HP, decides to go for the classic, goes in for the frag, and well, there we go. That's a triple for Autumn, but what a play from Order.
And that's the signature Autumn that I was, you know, talking about in the past. He dares to go aggressive because his mechanical ability, he's so confident in it. There was so much utility dumped down towards A heaven, and he could still peek out, get one initial frag, mid jump by the way onto easy, and dash out of there. And that's an even stronger man advantage going the way of Order. They're just looking sort of unstoppable coming to this. Team Bliss. Wronski forcing up into a Vandal. I hope he doesn't because the rest of his team, they have nothing to work with. Upgraded pistols it is, and going for the B site take this time. Order, I'm pretty sure this is going to be clean for them.
Yeah, well, Order would really hope to find some clean openings here and try to lose as minimal amount of agents as possible. Seems like it's a very much of just a flood in right onto B side, and hopefully for Sign, they will be able to clean this up already. Expect the peek. There's the stun as well, but still able to find a frag. Bit of a trade around. Disco is there. Disco, could he find a 30? He does, but not a fourth one. It's Autumn to finish things off. Disco absolutely nutty with that flank.
Order. What can you really say? I suppose there's not much to honestly analyze into that round. Team Bliss, they tried to go for the same initial play, expecting Autumn to be using the operator towards mid, but this time, yes, he was there, but he had the operator instead of a marshal, so it's gonna be one shot regardless and could dash away. He heard the initial engagements, and Team Bliss, they couldn't get the opening frag. As a result, they lost that round. They're down by 5. They have 4 ultimates to work with this time. They shouldn't be looking to lose this round, but once again, should that come to happen, the economy is gonna be busted again.
Exactly. Few attempts at peek by Wronski, has only 3 knives remaining. The Sova ultimate is coming out. The Hunter's Fury is there. Autumn found her position right now, being hunted down. Major and Wronski able to pick up those frags. Unfortunately, though, for them, there's a shock arrow that does finish off Wronski. Still, some damage has been dealt. Major is still in the play. 4, make it 3 players, as a matter of fact, of Order are still in the play. Easy is there to refrag onto Text as well. 2v3 certainly looks very dangerous. Signed, can't land a shot onto Major either, and right now, the whole defense of Order fell apart, but they can afford it here. 6-1 scoreline. Definitely looking like it's about to be turned into 6-2.
Disco, 1-on-3. I wouldn't rate his chances too high, but easy. You see, he thumped out utility, expecting Disco to be playing up there. Indeed, he wasn't, but as a result, the shoulder peak exposed positioning and Major to clean things up. Team Bliss, they take their second round. They're still down by 4 coming to this, and indeed, they won the round. Their economy is saved. They will be able to save quite a bit and buy up fully into coming to this. Order, look, they have that 4-round lead. It allows them to invest time and time again back into this, at least for another 2 rounds by my calculations. Quick maths. Autumn, again, on the operator. Same position towards mid. And we should be seeing aggression coming up from Team Bliss to take it. And I really like how Team Bliss in that round, they got the trades to come through and they played it relatively slowly. Even though Texter, he was on the flank, already out towards A long, he couldn't open up the frag as easy. Probably read it and he was just lying in wait.
Yeah, look, already some early damage is being dealt. Wrongski opening up perfectly onto Autumn, shutting things down, but Texter at the very least is able to find a refrag there. So still very workable here for Order and for Bliss, as a matter of fact. A little bit of a fumble around on the middle, but it seems like it is going to be a push through trees onto A. See if maybe they can shut down Tux. 3-man push. Tux has his back turned around, and this, if the timing is right, could be absolutely deadly. But for now, it seems like it's a gunfight between Freshest and Tux in a moment. The Phantom versus a Vandal. Oh, pardon me, both Vandals are there, and unfortunate timing there, nearly landing the shots, but 70 HP still remaining for Freshest to play around. 3v4. The plant is starting to go down, so Bliss should be able to get themselves on the way here. Empress has been popped as well, and Major should still now be able to get an even bigger advantage in the gunfights. Smokes up there. The info is also there that there is presence on Heaven, at least for one of the players. The Boombot is also coming around. One player in Hell, one player just about at sight, and this is a jump around. Disco, oddly enough, finds itself a kill, but can't find a refrag. There's Reina as well, shut down. 1v2, the timer is ticking, the defuse needs to be started now, and the smoke is rolling out. The push is starting to happen, pre-fires are there, Texter is ready to refrag, and that's defuse in favor of Order.
You fail. Now
Order, they are unstoppable now. They're up by 5, they're using their utility, I would say, to perfection to an extent, especially Disco. Him just going balls deep in that round, just, you know, blast pack jumping over everyone's heads, and Jungle, he didn't even realize that they were next door neighbors. They finally exchanged that brief awkward moment of, like, you know, a stare down between the 2 of them, and then it was Disco to strike first. Autumn still has the full investment, $5,000, holding down mid, and I do believe we are seeing Team Bliss going for the same play again, get Autumn killed, and then they establish mid control before working elsewhere, although looking to be a B split.
Only one way to find out right now. Wrongski gonna go in for that peek again. It's once again an absolutely fantastic long shot. Doing some God's work there, really, for Bliss. And, well, early advantage once again will be forcing Order to be a little bit sweatier, possibly, or maybe asking Disco to clutch it out yet again. Although, looking at the utility, it's quite a fair bit. It has been already put down for A side. So now, once the push does come around, will be quite a tall order, really, I would imagine, for Bliss to try to deal with all of it.
Yeah, tall order. And I want to say, I had the camera on Autumn at the time, because I wasn't expecting him to actually lose the engagement against Vronsky, but it just comes to show, you know, some of these Team Bliss players, they are not to be trifled with, and they're just going absolutely ham with this game. But now, signed Tux and Texter looking to hold it down as the engagement comes through.
Already the push comes around. Texter gets spotted around and can't even find a frag. Easy is there to refrag for him. Rotation is starting to come out, but unfortunately a little bit too late. Order now left with 2 agents to try to retake the site with the 5 players remaining. Freshest is there for the exit frags, but does hear the rotation. It seems like the order has been issued to save the guns, save the utility, and then recuperate for the next one, seeing as losing an operator would be the last thing that they would really want.
Oh no, Sign, he has the operator, but he's getting boxed in right now because Freshest probably will find him sooner or later. Major was shooting down the angle at first, and that's how Sign got tagged so low. Sign, yep, gets one onto Wronsky, but then Freshest cleans up. Disco living to fight another day, holding onto his gun, holding onto armor, all his utility. And Team Bliss, you know, they're striking back. I have to say, early on, of course, Wronsky, time and time again, with the initial mid pick, doing fantastic work for Team Bliss. It's shutting Autumn down time and time again. And I wasn't keen to say it in map 1, but map 2, I can say for certain, Autumn just isn't having it. He can strike a few kills here and there. He went off huge initially, but now Team Bliss, if they have, why even bother striding around him when you have Wronsky to just like pop his head? As a result, they take mid, and then they cut noise. you saw Tux, and I think that was Texter, no, Tux and someone else's teammate just holding down the A side. They weren't even aware that Bliss was going to come through A main to an extent, and then the execution came out using ultimates. There was nothing they could do. It was too late. Order, still have a 4-round buffer. But Team Bliss, same story, mid-control. This time Awesome, he is wiser. He won't be playing there again.
Yeah, Autumn finally learned his mistake here, plus the fact that he no longer gets to keep drop now. Oh! Actually a clap back onto Jet Violence, able to actually get rid of Wrongski and drop the op, but pretty sure that has been picked up now by the teammates. No, it hasn't actually yet. So this is a huge opening here. That's no longer the long-range advantage now in hands of Bliss, and for Order, well, the only thing that really kind of came around is the damage onto Autumn, and even that shock dart doesn't even do enough damage. So instead, we are going to be seeing still some presence in the middle, so, and the shock dart does come around, a little bit of some damage, and Signed is forced to fall back.
Yeah, well, Flush just gets one, and he actually does manage to catch Autumn towards the very end, though, although the side tech is still coming out from Order, and Flush is just looking the wrong way. Disco does manage to even up the man advantage, but Team Bliss, as I say that, they're not going for B, they're edging away.
One enemy remaining.
The spike has been dropped, actually. Signed. Fantastic play. Shock Dart is there to try to rub in the salt into the wound, and right now goes in for the gunfight. That jungle, wow, that jungle with a triple at the end. Absolutely phenomenal play. Does keep Bliss in the competition. 7-4.
Oh. Team Bliss, they are still in it, but they're still down by 3 rounds. And that round, all I can say is the initial opening frag from Awesome, who's probably had enough of being bullied by Vronsky. It's really helped his team in that regard. And also I want to point out the shock dart from Easy. He had the right idea and almost caught Awesome, but have Awesome just slightly behind the wall and dropping down with just in the nick of time, managed to avoid the damage. Regardless, though, the lurks coming out from Team Bliss, they're not quite working out in their favor. But this time, Order showing aggression towards mid. They have a worse buy.
A few change arounds as well. This time it's Killjoy that will be on B side and already signed. Double kill for him. Autumn getting traded out. Texter finding a kill into Flesh. It is all slowly falling apart, although Wrongski is able to find a shot onto Tuck. So it's not all over just yet. They're still trying to bait out maybe some aggression, but Order knows better. They just are playing a little bit more passive now that they know that there is the player advantage. They have the positional advantage, even the health advantage per se. So certainly looks like this could be workable, but Wrongski absolutely clinical with that play. Disco there to shut him down, and it's all down to Jungle Wow. Now, he did pull out a clutch previously in a 1v2, but a recon bolt does spot Jungle Wow's position. There's the swing, there's the peek, and that's another round. 8-4.
Order. Deja vu, you know, just doing what Team Bliss did to them on the Icebox. It's the exact same scoreline to finish off the first half. Coming to the second, Team Bliss on the defense. They don't have Killjoy to work with, so no Nano Swarms, no Killjoy lockdown to retake his site should it come to the worst. But going to that previous round, Team Bliss, they were just bleeding players early on. The aggression coming from Order, a huge curveball, and just shifting the speed in which how they play the defense, it caught them off guard. And Order, they're just pulling out strats left, right, and center, and it's giving them the advantage coming to this. Of course, the second half, it could be a different story, but Team Bliss, obviously, they need the pistol round to bring into a 6-8 scoreline, ideally. But Order, they win this. They're looking to close this series out 2-0.
Well, that's definitely looking like it's a plan for Order. They are coming in as favorites here within this matchup. Texter having a very tight angle. Oh, he could have the element of surprise. It could be a huge one. Wrongski finds the shot, gets actually tagged up. That's one. Can he find another one? Wrongski does land the headshot, but it's Disco in the crossfire. Does pick up the frag. The spike has been dropped. Tux picking up a second one as well for him. Jungle Well, Tech clicking away. It's a 1v1 situation. They pick up the triple.
Oh my god! Jungle excuse me. Jungle Well, the clutch master right now for Team Bliss. He did it once on the first half, and he does it again in the pistol to bring things back. Just when I thought that Order, you know, they had it in the bag with all the kills and the flank coming up from A to A-long to catch the players of Team Bliss going aggressive mid. Sheesh! He brought it back. Team Blitz, I have to say though, on the defense round, everyone going aggressive mid for mid control, just going for the straight frags. It was definitely a curveball they Order did not see coming. Saw the damage being dealt out and the double stack coming up from Major and Ronsky. They confirmed the frags, and now they have the SMGs to work with this round. Order on the slightly back foot.
Oh boy, that's an Ares popping off, finding already a shot through the wall. Bliss getting extra aggressive here right now, knowing that it is going to be a pistol round from Order already. Some damage is being dealt, and right now looking to redeem themselves. Spike has been also dropped at a very unfortunate position right now, and Autumn trying to be extra cautious. The Ares pre-fire is about to come around. Yeah, there we go. No success yet, but oh, there's more angles to be held, and oh, the easy. Can't really pick up another frag. Already ran out of all of the bullets, so forced to play around with Classic.
I want to say though, Easy, it was a good reposition, but however, he's out of ammo really, and Major as well as Ronsky, they're both one shot away from death. Even though Order they have Classic to work with, if they can actually take the B side, because Easy, like I mentioned earlier, no bullets left, and Major no health left. They can honestly win this round with Classics alone. Regardless though, they can't really get a gun out of Easy because he has no bullets. I keep saying it again. Order. Cutting Noise is being patient, left. Waiting for, Team Bliss to make a mistake, second guess themselves, and a rotation come through potentially. Bronski has to peek now to catch a few plays off guard.
Indeed, well, goes in for the peek. That's one. Can't find the second one. Disco is the one to shut him down. More gunfights do erupt there with the Classics as well. Sanders there to dish some damage. Bliss trying to fend off the absolute onslaught. Order absolutely smashing through the opposition right now. Tux, rather Disco, realizing the mistake of picking up the Ares right now. Jungle Wow trying to find some form of success there for them, and there's the black hole as well coming right out. But the lockdown is there to waste even more time as well from Killjoy. Disco should still have the good angle there. Tux has the Spectre as well for the gunfight, so the moment that comes around, this could be the end of it. Tux finds one. Can he find the second one? Ashtray is there, 19 HP, but no, can't do it. Jungle Wow shouldn't be able to defuse, but yeah, not enough time. That's a 9th point there for Order. Oh, he does actually hit it. That's a 6th point for Bliss. Oh my god.
Yeah, Team Bliss, the retake, it really came down to the wire. And look, I said that earlier, Order, they were cutting Noise, and 2 players on the B side. Major, he was already so low. Ronsky already so low. They were one shot away from death. Maybe they got a few kills to start things off, but it didn't help them at all. Easy, with only Classic to work with, it was really hard for him to try to hold down the site using the pistol. And the Ares, he wasted way too much bullets early on. He got 1 kill with it, and that was pretty much all the value they got. Order, they very nearly won the round with Classics only versus SMGs. They did the damage, and now Team Bliss, they are on the back foot. Order, rifles all the way.
Man, this is definitely starting to get intense. Bliss starting to kick back a little bit, but yeah, this time, wow, it's going to be a bit of a rough one for Bliss, really. A few of the pistols, but still able to find a few shots, although trades are in. It's Order to find 2 frags total right now. So much damage being dealt as well. Signed with the shock dart as well, dealing even more damage. Info coming out continuously. It's a continuous flow, and it's almost a flawless run there as well. The spike plant is there as well for some more money.
Order, I don't know, it's really hard to say. Team Bliss, they started the second half strong. The pistol round, it really came down to clutch. And then the second round, that was where they blundered in Order. That's, that's the different class of team and captain, I would say, coming in clutch here. They made the calls and then analyzed the situation to perfection. As a result, it gave them such a strong advantage coming into this round. Team Bliss, that was their bonus round, but however, as far as bonus rounds go, it was pretty weak in terms of guns. This time, Blonsky, operator, starts off. Texter is out of the equation. Order, 4 players standing, going for mid control.
Yeah, Ronsky giving the taste of their own medicine to Order, really. Showing some good handling with the op as well, but this time Autumn now with the Phantom, rather. I was about to say Vandal. Will be trying to smoke off middle, try to make sure that the sightlines are not going to be there, and well, for now it's a little bit of a calm round, a little bit of a slow one as well, seeing as they can't seem to be able to figure out where do they want to push. It's a rotation coming out from A over to B, so possibly we shall be seeing some openers here.
Interesting. Oh, the shock dart was to destroy the Cypher trap, and yeah, indeed, like you said, the order they're starting to go for a B split. A man down, and that's no smokes out because Texter's Astra is gone. That Reaper now won't help them all. Ronski gets another frag, tucks out of the equation. So post-plant utility is a no-go. Order the bleeding players one at a time, but not if Autumn has anything to say about it.
The ultimate does come around from Ronski though. He's ready to take it to the close quarters, but Op is there, ready to frag out. Nearly lands the shot onto Sign. 2v2 though. This is workable here for Order. They need to pace themselves. They need to make sure that they get their gunfights sorted. Jungle while waiting for the rotation of the Cypher of Weshest. And right now they're looking to try to retake the site. Still a 3-round differential here between the two teams. And the information has been gathered around. The Sova ultimate coming around just to try to fend off the attackers, or rather the retake, and some more damage being dealt. Weshest finding the shot. There's a black hole coming around. Weshest playing around the very same utility of Astra, and perfect lineup. Will be finding yet another frag and a win in the round.
I want to say, go into that round. The reason why I switched over to Jungle Whale's perspective was because when I had to check how many of the Astral Stars he had. He had 3 standing, and as a result, that's why he was waiting for Fleshist to come through B main. He dunks down those stars, and when Fleshist is in position, Jungle Whale just has to be the distraction. He dunks his utility, the Gravity Well and the Nova Pulse. It stunned a few players, and even finally sucked in Autumn with the Fragile as well. So Autumn, it was a very tall task ahead of him. He had to essentially land the headshots and not take a single bullet even to the body. It didn't work out in his favor, and Team Bliss, they bring it within 2. Ultimates do favor them. Jungle Wow with the Cosmic Divide and the Operator on Ronski. So we're looking to see him perhaps get the initial frag again.
And quite possibly Ronski has already proven to us he's a fantastic player, fantastic fragger, so has the good chance. The lineup is going to be there as well, unless the reaction is off, and decides to fall off from that position, about to possibly get caught off by Tugs, but no, Tugs decides the better of it, knowing that there could be a lineup there. The scout drone is out there, Owl is ready, Wronski is pushing away, Autumn finds the feed, does spray them down. Tugs is there to shut down Wronski after he takes out Texter. 3v4, the push is there. Order should be able to get the advantage easy. Nearly getting caught off guard with some of the plays, but it's Major absolutely going ham. The C is there, the Showstopper is there. He gets the kill to Major, keeps Disco alive, but the flank from behind is there. Easy. Last man standing in a 2v1, and all the pre-fire starting to come around. Autumn there on site, and the Sova on the Hell as well. So possibly be the ending here. 35 HP remaining. Time is slowly ticking away. 10 HP now. A single shot would be the end of Easy. And right now the man needs to try to maybe fall back. Does grab the op. Runs away in hopes of saving it.
I'm pretty sure he will be able to save this, but oh, the damage, it was not going his way, you know. Awesome, very aware in that situation. He was playing around Generator, and he was going to reload, so it's guaranteed they knew where he was. I like that movement tech as well. That's fantastic. It may be able to catch Easy, you know, rotating through defender spawn. But regardless, that round, I think Ronski, if he went a little bit aggressive, he may have been able to get the initial frag, and that's the difference, you know, between Ronski and Awesome. Both are very sharp players, but I guarantee you, if it was Awesome in that situation, he would have gone for the peak, and he would have been confident, and I would have had confidence that he would have been able to land the shot. And to dash away, you know. Tactical Pause has now been called out by Order, and they are discussing what to do, which is quite interesting. They have a 3-round lead, but they are feeling that Team Bliss might have something sneaky up their sleeves. And as I say that, just look at the economy of Team Bliss. It's going to have to be all on Ronski's shoulders to go huge here, as everyone else, they have pretty much inferior weaponry in every single way. Also, for the side of Team Bliss, they're winning rounds despite not having as many kills as Order all the way around. It's a 3-round deficit, but just look at the kill difference across, you know, of both teams. Regardless, Order, this is their round 2 win. If they lose this, their economy won't be struggling, actually. I'll take it back. But only on Sign and Texter, they may struggle just a bit. This is getting really close now. Order double digits, 3 more, and they'll take the series 2-0. Team Bliss, they need to get something started and right here and now.
Yeah, Team Bliss looking a little bit dire there, really, for their play. Quite an unfortunate loss on map number 1. Map number 2 certainly looking a little bit rough, although the scoreline is still really close. Order poising to go for a push over to the A side. Do spot a few bits of utility here and there. Really Signed Already will be there getting off the Owl Drone. The Killjoy's ultimate, the lockdown is coming around, so Autumn is just hoping to catch a few of the rotating defenders off guard here. Major is there to hold on to the angle. There's the pre-fire, there's the damage, and only one player has been detained. The Flash is still there to try to hold the angle. Autumn picking up the frags. Wrongski is there, but right now the rest of Bliss is looking a little bit dire though, although it's only a 3v4.
Maybe a 3v4, but Team Bliss is still getting some kills. Jungle Well, only classic to work with. The sign starts off onto easy. Wronsky, that Cosmic Divide won't make his job any easier, and Tuzi peeks out. Yep, it was Texas to get the frag. It's all down to Jungle Well now by himself. The classic man maybe save the operator again 2 rounds in a row. It's probably his best case scenario. I'm not sure if his footsteps were heard by Disco though. A 4v1. I do think they are going in the hunt, as you can see. Disco, the blast back tech. He spotted Jungle Well, I'm pretty sure. And Jungle Man, you gotta be ready because Disco's already okay, with his team. They are gonna pinch him.
It definitely looks like they are out there hunting. Disco might get caught with his pens down, but no, Disco. Fantastic play, fantastic gunfight there for himself. Does manage to claim that dub, and well, that's completely, the AWP has been denied, the utility has been denied, and the economy as well, although Bliss are able to still buy up, so quality up here, really.
Order, they've taken their 11th round, and one more is all they need to get to match point, and that essentially sounds like a death sentence going the way of Team Bliss. Major, having a quieter game compared to Icebox, but still Ronsky to get all the job done, all the work done for Team Bliss. They are looking to stack 4 players over to the A site, which isn't the right call right now, because Order, they're going to go for mid control and looking to be a B split.
B split push should really work out here, unless the call to Bliss will be out there, and already you can see a very quick, very sporadic rotation over. No attempts at even taking mid-control, which is quite interesting, although Wrongski goes in for a few bits of pre-fire here and there, but it won't be connecting anything. The door is being closed off. Autumn going in for the push, but right now needs to open up the door. There's the peek straight away. Wrongski is there, but the headshot is better on Autumn. Smokes do come around, maybe a pre-fire from Easy, but no, it's a quick jump through. Doesn't even get the chance to really engage there. Major finding one on Autumn. This is all starting to fall apart, seeing as Order didn't really follow up with their frag, as Major is doing absolutely godly work there, and it's all down to Sign to try to clutch it up in a 1v3 situation, really. Stuck in B main, has his exit cut off. Jungle Wow is there, Major holding the position from middle. This is all just looking like it's about to fall apart, although he is shift walking. He should still be able to get the element of surprise. If he is able to isolate some of those gunfights into 1v1s, this should be still workable, although lack of time is definitely going to be pressing for him. So maybe a few exit frags here and there, seeing as the round has been lost. A little bit of a lineup could possibly be the play here. Can he find it? Does not. Signed. Fails the clutch attempt, and Jungle Wow does score the very solid gunfight.
You know, I was actually rooting for Sun in that situation because there were 2 players. It was good from Team Bliss. They were split up, 3 players all across the map, and the 2 players over towards Market and one towards Defender Spawn, they grouped up together to guarantee at least the instantaneous trade, the buddy system. And I really thought that Sun, being sneaky the way he was, he would have been able to get a mow down on those 2 players, lined up essentially. Thankfully though, Jungle Well, he turned around in the nick of time and confirmed the kill. Order, that round was looking really good for them starting off, but Team Bliss, they managed to just go huge individually, especially Easy. They're locking down the B site, and the frags just didn't flow for Order. As a result, we are seeing yet another round. Team Bliss, they're hanging on, but Order, they're going for the A split. Mid control is already theirs.
Exactly. Very swift control there from Order, claiming quite a fair bit of land, although defensive Bliss is ready there to 4-stack on B side, or rather A side, and the Silver's ultimate, the Hunter Fury, is coming out. Signed once again, picking up the frags here. Autumn has the perfect opportunity to run into the opponents, but no, Jungle Wow just a little bit sharper here, ready for that smoke to dissipate to peek, and oh, it's just an absolute firing squad there, really. Freshest on the flank has the kill. That's Signed out of the equation. Now it's down to Tux. Tux goes down as well. This is a absolute clutch, and I'm just completely choking on my words, but Freshest, he doesn't choke on that. He gets that triple kill.
Team Bliss, they have a team of, honestly, stars. In any situation, you can count on Ronsky to open up for its team, getting those initial early frags, C-sharp like that. And Fleshes, the clutch master himself. You can put those a 1v3 order. They had no business losing that. Fleshes just catches, you know, Sign mid-jump off guard, but Tux really should have been able to get that kill. It didn't flow that way. Fleshes, the aim is just too sharp. 4 ultimates on the side of Team Bliss coming to this round. Ronsky, he will be using the blades. No gun needed. No one can really afford him. And order, their economy starts to look a little bit dicey now. As you can see, only a Guardian on Disco. That's the best gun they have. Everyone else, upgraded pistols.
Yeah, upgraded pistols is definitely an issue already. Autumn, the moment he realized that this could be a problem, already bails out. Easy just busting out some of the more wilder decisions, bringing in this time an Odin. Certainly is an interesting one, but we do see a couple of interesting upgrades. There's a Guardian for Disco, and he did show us before that he was able to line up a few very solid shots. Maybe here this is going to be the play. So far, this is going to be a bit of a slow one from Order, it seems. And, scout from Sova, and Wrongski already doing a fantastic job. That's a triple as well for him. All of a sudden, this whole momentum has been completely thwarted here against Order. It's all down to Sign to try to maybe find a few exit frags, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So much pre-fire. It is major to finish out the round. Flawless for Bliss.
Cthulhu, it's happening again. This could this could be overtime. I wasn't expecting this, I'll be honest. Map 1 already went on for long enough, and now map 2. Goodness gracious me. Team Bliss, they're bringing it back. Within 1 round, Order, they need to win this round. Get match point and get it over and done with. They lose this, guaranteed pretty much Team Bliss, they'll take match point. Because look at the economy. It's so poor. Only Disco has a showstopper. He has to go huge here for his team. Get those multi-frags with the ultimate. Or Team Bliss, you know, they'll really steal the win from under their noses. Highway robbery. Team Bliss, standard defense. 2-2-1 actually. I take my words back. Ronsky, this could be unexpected.
Yeah, Wrongski about to throw in a spanner in the works, does find one, decides to fall back. Oh, a little bit rough there for him. Should be able to try to maybe fall back, but right now just being absolutely obliterated. Paint shells as well, finding some frags. Disco with the ultimate shuts down the Wrongski play, but easy. Easy got the Odin, and that is the main issue. The spike has been dropped down at a very uncomfortable position, and right now, counting out. Does spot, or rather here, the Reyna shock dart is there to try to deal some damage, but won't be lining up. Texter is actually going to be there, and we'll be trying to assist the rest of the team to try to take the push, but right now, the disadvantage is certainly there in play. Odin, an absolutely deadly weapon in the right hand. Major is going to be solo holding there in the pit, and we'll be trying to find a few openings. Smoke is there, walking right through it, pulling some very mad plays, but right now Tux completely unaware of Texter there at the very least to refrag him, and right now some rendezvous play needs to happen from Disco, although the Hunter Fury is coming out. Jungle Wow is there for the gunfight, but Disco is just a little bit better. Hunter's Fury, just not enough.
Oh, easy. It's all the Odin now. 1-on-2. It's doable. I mean, Disco doesn't have much utility left. Now, Recon arrow may actually scan out. Yes, Disco! And the Warband come through, but the Cosmic Divide saved his ass in the nick of time. Easy. You push through that, man. It's going to be rough. But the 1v2, it's very much possible. He doesn't really have time to wait out the Cosmic Divide wall, but does seem to be that's the plan. Disco's lying in wait. Cthulhu... I'm on the edge of my chair right now. The spike is taking away easy. You gotta make a play, man. It's match point for Order. He goes down. Disco, of course, gets the kill. Match point for Order. Team Bliss. Oh, look. I was really rooting for them this round to bring it to 11-11. But Order, they just managed to clutch things out. Now the economy for Team Bliss, they can buy back. And yes, buy back as a whole. I thought Ronsky was going to use the blades. Regardless, though, Order... They're looking healthy. The ultimates do favor Team Bliss. Jungle Wow with the Cosmic Divide. It could be a huge play this round, but Order, they're starting to find their stride, and the clutch factor towards the very end of the game, it may be what brings them to victory.
Both that and Precious as well, having the Cypher's ultimate there as well, ready to bring in some momentum, is definitely going to be quite an interesting play. Wrongski already reading into a potential push here. The scout arrow is there. Won't be actually spotting Wrongski at all, as that was not the right play there. Quick peek coming around. They should have the good knowledge. There's the scout drone as well. Wrongski needs to fall back. His position has been already pinged. Pull back towards the trees, close down the door, but still going to play a very up-close position, waiting for the smokes to possibly dissipate, or maybe going even for the lineup. Finds one. That's the kill to find. That is a huge opener here right now for Order. They might just lose their momentum if they do lose Signed here without the information gathering, although the utility has been used. Things definitely going to look rough. They are rotating over to B.
Yeah, but tucked on Miwa on the B side, he's managed to get himself the Killjoy lockdown available. As a result, he dunks it, and it's basically forced Major into a really rough position. He has to escape now or risk dying. He needs a smoke from his team, and looks like he will just be getting... he will take the L and try to stay alive. So much util on him, and this has to be so easy for Order as well. They can figure out exactly where Major is holding, but the time was almost up. Major, this could be huge, and you know, well, 1-for-1 trade at the very least. Flash shift and easy with his Cypher traps, the wall bangs, and Order. They're down to the 2 players now. Team Bliss, they're doing it.
Yeah, Team Bliss certainly looking to do it, but right now Disco is doing a little bit overwork, but unfortunately couldn't really find any more frags for himself. 3rd frag for Flash, just only 1 round differential here.
Oh my god, I'm so sure we're going to see overtime, because look at the economy of Order. It's broken. They can have 2 rifles on the hands of Signed and Texter, but everyone else is going to be SMGs and upgraded pistols. Signed, they want to get him the Hunter's Fury available to use, but Team Bliss, they're looking to actually bring this into OT and potentially win it, but that's the problem. Order, they always step up. Ronsky looking to get an early kill again, but this time all 5 players of Order are about to stare him down.
Yeah, this could be an issue for Wronski if he doesn't play his cards right. He does fully acknowledge that this time Order should be very cautious. This is going to be a very important round here for both teams. As a matter of fact, for Bliss, they want to close out this round to even get themselves a chance for a play. Smokes do start to come around. Questions is the one to go in for the push, but doesn't actually connect the shots. Wronski is the one to pick up the kill. There's the ultimate from Sova as well coming around. Signed is once again connecting the shots. There's more damage to the Cypher as well. Texter finding the shot onto Wronski. Can Fweshes though hold his position because the Empress has been popped from behind? The Major play could really come out clutch here. Signed is the one to shut down Major right now with a Sheriff 4v2. Bliss looking to be on the back foot here. A rotation through mid is also coming around. Easy could really push in, but no. All down to Fweshes here at a very unfortunate turnout.
Yeah, look, I honestly thought that Team Bliss, they had the advantage going into that round. But Flushes, he did damage. Couldn't quite finish off awesome, though. But then suddenly, a flurry of action, all the frags went to the side of Order. Bliss, here is, you know, Duck's just running around making noise for his team. Oh, but Order, they're going back for the A take. This could be Flushes' time to step up, but it doesn't come to happen. Sign, triple kill. Order, they take map 2 and win the series 2-0.
2-0, the scoreline that I feel like both of us had an inkling that could have really happened here, but look, to go out with such a bang. I mean, what was it, a quadruple overtime on map number 1 and nearly an overtime on map number 2. Bliss still showing us that they are still a very worthy team to really think about and to consider one of the top 4 possibly teams in ANZ. So that said, look, props to Order for pulling out a dub. They are the ones going to be progressing further in the bracket, and Bliss are going to be dropping down into the lower bracket, which will be streamed at a later date. And look, yeah, already we actually have the confirmation that Kanga actually got themselves to the upper bracket finals.
Kanga won against Mind Freak. Okay, that's just brutal. Well, guys, that will be all from us right now, because we were actually going to be streaming just a single series. Regardless, that's done and dusted. On the flip side, you said Kanga won, so it will be Kanga versus Order going to the next game. And, oh, wow, that's not what I expected. I expected it to be Mind Freak versus Order. Regardless, though, Mind Freak versus Team Bliss in the lower brackets, that's probably a sight to behold, because Team Bliss, they absolutely gave Order pretty much literally the #1 team in the region a run for their money. Icebox went to triple OT and Ascent almost overtime, 11-13. That's not a bad scoreline, I have to say. But one MVP for tonight, my choice at least for Team Bliss, has got to be Wronski. Map 1, he was doing all the work. Map 2, exact same scenario. Getting those early picks, just causing such a nuisance for the team of Order. He managed to shut down Autumn as well quite a few times, especially towards mid on Ascent. And Autumn, you know, he was just I won't say at a loss for words, but he had to stop playing that position. And Ronsky just proving to be the superior Jet player for tonight. Regardless, though, you can never count out Order. I say it time and time again. The players, whenever it's needed, they step up. Disco, 28 for himself, almost about the 30 bomb. Such a consistent fragger for Order, and they honestly have a superstar in him. Signed this tonight. This is his second, no, not second, well, his second day of being officially signed to Order, and proving to be a very valuable asset with his utility and the clutch factor to an extent, but mostly it was the frags map 1. Cthulhu, any last words from you?
Look, I'm happy that we managed to catch this absolute bomb burner of a game. We got to witness both teams show their absolute best gameplay here on the 2 maps. Ben, congrats to Order for the dub. They will get to play against Kanga very soon.
Guys, you heard the man, and that's really all from us tonight. You can follow me on Twitter at Digital Casts. I have rebranded. You can follow my Twitch account right here, Digital Casts. And of course, Cthulhu, plug your socials as we do.
Yep, everyone can find me really on Twitter at Cthulhu ANZ, that is CTHULHUANZ, and same username is also on Twitch, where I occasionally, once in a blue moon, do stream some random game. So do come around. Well, I'll see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming, and as always, see you next time. Oh, and I'll raid the main channel, Order_Army, because they will be doing yet another stream for Kanga versus Order. See you guys there.